Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first visit here. I'm getting ready to make some samples for my pen friend Jess. Everybody deserves a great pen friend like I have. She has a channel that I'll link here, My Magical Planner, and she helped me figure out what tools to use. I kind of helped enable her with a couple of other things. So she gifted me at hockey last night a nice fun little baggie of gifts, and I wanted to show you what was in here and then show you the tools I use. So these are the inks I'm going to be swatching. I'm going to do a video on this a little trio of Tono and Limbs. They're my first Tono and Limbs inks. It's a hatch creation with endless pens. So there was an artist who did these inks and there's a story behind them, which is super cool. But the basic tools, I have Avery Index reinforcement labels. I'll show you where I swatch them and then I put them on top of the little ink vials. I use this Niimbot. It's a little printer that's an app on your phone, and you can print labels. And I'm going to put in screenshots because my phone is what I am recording on. But I have a template saved. And it has my YouTube channel, Instagram name, which is the same on the bottom. But then you can switch out the manufacturer and the name of the ink. And then you print out ones or as many of the inks. And you can put them around the ink vial. The only thing I'll say is they don't stick great on the plastic. But you know what? You can go old school like I do, and I just put a little piece of Scotch tape on the back side, and it's fine. Then I also use these ink containers I got on Amazon. I'll link there. I was using an eyedropper, but these are super convenient. I reuse these over and over again after I use them. I rinse them out. A little ink muddler for doing the Avery Index labels there. And then off to the side, I've got my water cups, and you could really gift for years with these labels. And you know, I reuse these too. I clean them out after I use them, but they come, this one was $50 per bag, so plenty in there. And then I just like the look when they're finished, so let's get started. All right, let's get started. I usually go ahead and do all the labels around this and put my inks in order of what I'm intending to do. So I put this around, and then I'll do all the Scotch tape at the same time. It seems like the convention is 3 to 5 inks. Cold Beauty first. I gave Jess a ink sample once and didn't label it, so wasn't intending to be a mystery dip, but it was. And then always good to put them in the correct order, seeing that I've not inked these inks before. I don't know about you, but I love to give inks as little presents because I'll never use all this ink in my lifetime. And if I do, they'll make more. Ooh. I try to get it somewhat straight on the bottles. And then, you know what? Just a little piece of Scotch tape, and it's not like the aesthetics of a plastic ink tube are such that you feel bad if you wreck the beauty of your label with a little piece of Scotch tape, and I really would prefer it not to fall off. I've used this and not had any problem at all. And then I'm just going to hold this up so you see. I mean, you can get quite a bit on these labels. It's still legible, especially if you have your nice over 50 friendly readers like I do. and then you're ready to go. So I've got all the ink bottles unboxed. I've started to put these swatches on the top, so I'll be doing some of those too. And these Tono Limbs bottles are nice, but they're not so beautiful that I'm not going to just put the little swatch right on the top there. So let's get going. I don't think this is anything you necessarily have to zoom in for, so we'll just get this done. Here's Matthias. And then once I use, am I actually in frame even? Yep. I don't know, I like watching ink dry, and I like watching it suck up these little pipettes too. There we go. And then I use this fountain pendulum tray, and I really like it for a number of reasons. I won't have my things falling all over the place. And, ooh, I should have put something under there. I don't have to worry about the vials falling over because I am not really going to be putting the lids on right away. If I'm going to do a number of samples, I am going to put an ink blotter under that. And on to the next one. And then I'll just have to wait for these little swatches to dry, and I might have to blot it a little bit because I think I went overboard with the amount of ink on there. There we go. Here we go with Layla. I almost feel like a mad scientist when I do things like this, which is kind of fun too. Okay, as I hop up to make sure I'm still in frame. Sometimes you do this and you go, oh, I'm sure I'm going to remember what color that was. Not so much. All right, and there's Layla. Didn't have that much left. And then this is nice when you have these in a little stand or however you store your ink samples. Whoever has it can kind of tell on the top what the samples were. I'm going to just move that up. And then here we're going to go with the Tono and Limbs. Oh, that opened easy. This one is called Cold Beauty. I'm really looking forward to getting these swatched in my book, but I'm also going to put in my ink journal. Just did a video on her ink journal this year. She's using a Hobonichi as well, and she said she has a page in the back for her pen friends so that she can remember what pen friends she gave what ink to, which I think is handy. I just know I haven't given her any of my new stuff, so I can go that way. Oh, this is a nice dark blue. And since I'm swatching anyway, I'm going to do these little removable dots for the top of the box. Might as well get that out of the way since I haven't used this ink yet. Two more. It really goes quickly, and since the labels are already done and I am ready to go with the tools, it's pretty easy to get a bunch done in a hurry. This one is called Resilience and Silence, and so I'm whetting your appetite for when I do this video too, which should probably be maybe tomorrow. We've got a friends gathering. We're going up to Frankenmuth in Michigan. Boy, when it gets to be 40 degrees in Michigan, you almost want to get your shorts out, and that's what it is today here. Just beautiful, beautiful day. And we've had a heck of a winter too. So that's a really pretty green. Nice dark green. Watch Jess get these swatched before I do. What a nice winter line. And then one more. This one is called Melancholy Warmth. Didn't even need the grippy thing this time. Oh boy, this is a really nice mulberry color. Ooh, she's going to get a lot of that mulberry color. I guess if I was selling these, I'd be scientific about this, but I'm just giving it away for a friend. So I can just do whatever I want there. Okay, let's do the, oh, that's pretty. I let these dry a little bit before I put them on. All right. Get these capped off. I did give her one once where it leaked out and I felt a little bad, but I always put them in a Ziploc bag like she has so that I don't have to worry. Usually we're doing an exchange at a hockey game or when we go crafting, so safety first with a bunch of inks, right? And this is, you know, doing samples back and forth with friends is just a really nice way to get to use a lot of inks and explore. And you notice I put them in the tray the same way that I swatched them so that when I put these labels on the top, they're going to be okay. So, yeah, they're not dry, but that's okay. I'll give them a little. Then this is Layla. These are, you know, these came a lot to a package. Ooh, boy, you know what? I'm enough of a perfectionist that I'm going to redo that one. Whoopsie. Okay, let them dry a little bit before I put the rest on. Okay, I used the time to go ahead and get all these little pipettes clean, so they'll just need to dry. And also to be a little more patient and give these a chance to dry a little bit. So this is the Winter Beauty. The Resilience in Silence. And I'm a little careful because you watched me rip that one. And then I think my favorite is this Melancholy Warmth. And then go back to Layla, who got an extra done. And then I'll go ahead and I will, this fountain pendulum has really good magnets, but these are the ones that are going to my friend. The tops have representative colors on them. And then the box is for the tono and limbs. I'll put my little swatches on the top. And hopefully in the order that I did them in. Cold Beauty is more like a black. Resilience in Winter, Cold Beauty, and then the Melancholy Warmth. There we go. It was more challenging to get those dots on the top of the boxes, but I think it's always nice to have a little representation of what the color is. You know, it's not Tomoe River paper or anything, but it is very nice to have these on here. And so that when I'm looking in the top of the box, I will know which ink goes to which, and then I'll get these swatched and I'll get that video up soon. Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. And then after this video, let me know if you swatch inks for friends and if any of these tools appeal to you. And have a good day. Bye.